So the next tool integration package is Terminal Plus here. And like I said, this is definitely one of my top favorites, indispensable Atom packages. There are other options for this, but I like this one and it works well. So what it allows us to do is it gives us a little window at the bottom and some keyboard shortcuts to open up a terminal window, and that by default will open to the folder of whatever package you're in, but anything that you could do in terminal you can now do inside of Atom itself. So let's go ahead and set that up, and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so I now have Terminal Plus installed and set up in my packages area, and just want to show you a few of the settings that you might find helpful. You could choose what working directory to open up into. You could customize the font family, the size, and even the theme that is being used, since when we get into themes in a little bit at the end of this, we'll talk about how you could customize the themes in Atom, but that doesn't apply to the terminal. So there's some helpful stuff there for customizing all of that. And then later on, when we get into Git and terminal and all this, we'll go into even more depth in working with this. But I'll just show you the basics. So we now have well, let me come into my code. It'll look a little bit better here. We now have a plus sign down here that we could click, and this will open up a new terminal window where we can begin writing command prompts. So once we're in here, we could also open up multiple windows, and this can be helpful because sometimes we might need to be running a server and we can't do multiple commands in that window, so you have another window that you could use. I'm going to close these and then just show you we also have really powerful keyboard shortcuts. So if I do Command-Shift-T, it's going to open up a new terminal window. I could hit Command-Shift-T again, and it will open up a new one. Command-Shift-J or Command-Shift-K will let us navigate between these. So if I have one thing going on in one and one thing going on in another, that's really helpful. And then I could also toggle these open and close using the Control-tilde shortcut. So open and close them, and then finally Command-Shift-X to be able to close a specific one without closing all of them. And these are all documented here in the keyboard shortcuts or the key bindings. Sorry, where are they? Down here underneath the colors. So take some time to familiarize yourself with this. And like I said, we're going to get into command line basics and working in terminal in a pretty good amount of depth. So we'll come back to doing this within Atom and going forward in all of our projects. It's something that I like to have terminal right here. Some people prefer it in a different app or somewhere else, but that's up to you. But I do recommend going ahead and installing it and at least getting familiar with some of those shortcuts to familiarize yourself with it. And then we'll come back to this later on.